The drink hit his chest before the laughter did. Ice clattered to the floor. Brown liquid spread fast across his light shirt, soaking through, cold and sticky. For half a second, the room froze. Then someone laughed, too loud, too sharp to be accidental. "Oh my God," a woman's voice said, "not sorry at all. I'm so clumsy." The man looked down at himself, then backed up. His jaw tightened, just slightly. He didn't shout. He didn't curse. He reached for a napkin on the counter instead. Around him, phones hovered in hands. People stared. No one spoke. If you've ever seen someone humiliated in public and felt that tight knot in your chest, you know this moment. And if you believe people reveal who they are when they think power isn't watching, stay with this story. The cafe was busy that afternoon, music low, confidence high, entitlement everywhere. The kind of place where customers were judged before they were served. The man had walked in quietly 10 minutes earlier, nodded at the counter, and placed a simple order. Black coffee. No sugar. One of the employees had looked him up and down before responding. "Sure," she said, already turning away. Minutes passed. Others who arrived after him were served first. He noticed, but he said nothing. When he finally stepped closer to the counter, another employee sighed loudly. "Can you wait? We're slammed." There were 3 people in line. "I've been waiting," the man said calmly. "I just wanted to check." The first employee rolled her eyes. "Relax. It's coming." That was when the first drink spilled, brushed off as an accident. A sleeve wet. A fake apology. A smirk shared between coworkers. And now this. The second drink hadn't been an accident. "Oops," the woman said again, biting her lip to hold back a smile. "Guess today's just not your day." The man folded the napkin carefully, blotting his shirt. His voice was steady when he spoke. "You didn't have to do that." The laughter died down, replaced by uncomfortable silence. "What?" the employee snapped. "It was an accident. You're gonna cry about it." A man at a nearby table shifted in his seat. A woman frowned, then looked away. The man being soaked took a breath. "I'm asking you to show some respect." That was when the second employee stepped forward, arms crossed. "Respect is earned," he said. "And you're holding up the line." The man nodded slowly, as if committing the moment to memory. "Okay," he said. "Just okay. If this story is already making you feel something, tap the like button. It helps stories like this reach people who need to hear them." The employees took his calm as permission. "You know what?" the woman said, grabbing another cup. "On the house." Before anyone could react, she tilted it forward. The liquid poured straight down his chest. Gasps filled the room. Someone whispered, "That was on purpose." The man stepped back, coffee dripping onto the floor. His hands trembled, not with rage, but restraint. "That's enough," he said quietly. The second employee laughed. "Or what?" For a moment, it looked like he might say more. Instead, he reached into his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and placed a few bills on the counter. "For the first drink," he said. "I won't be needing the rest." He turned to leave. That was when a voice cut through the room. "What's going on out here?" The back door swung open. The manager stepped out. The employees straightened instantly. "Oh, hey," the woman said quickly. "We've got a problem customer." The manager's eyes moved from the puddle on the floor to the soaked shirt, then to the man standing near the door. "What happened?" he asked. The second employee spoke fast. "He was being rude. Started an argument. We were just trying to handle it." "That's not," someone from a table began, then stopped. The manager raised a hand. "Everyone relax." He turned to the man. "Sir. The man met his eyes. For a brief second, something shifted. Recognition flickered, but it vanished just as quickly. I was leaving, the man said. The manager looked at his staff. Is that true? You spilled drinks on him? The woman shrugged. Accidents happen. The manager exhaled slowly. Go get towels. As she walked away, muttering under her breath, the manager stepped closer to the man. You okay? He asked quietly. I will be, the man replied. The manager studied him. His posture. His voice. Something felt familiar. Before he could speak again, the woman returned, tossing a towel at the man instead of handing it. Here. That's when the manager's patience snapped. Hey, he said sharply. That's enough. She froze. What? Go stand over there. The second employee scoffed. Come on, boss. Are you taking his side now? The manager looked at him. Really looked at him. Did you pour that drink on him? There was a pause. Well, he was. Did you? Silence. The manager turned to the man again. Sir, what's your name? The man hesitated. That was messed up back there. It was, the brother agreed. But it wasn't new. The man shook his head. Some people think they can do anything. Only until they can't, the brother replied. Across the street, a woman had stopped recording on her phone. She stared at him, curiosity burning. You handled that like you're used to it, she said. The brother smiled without humor. Unfortunately. She tilted her head. Can I ask you something? You already are. Why didn't you tell them who you were? The brother looked back toward the cafe. Because respect that only shows up when power enters the room isn't respect. She thought about that. So what do you do? He shrugged. I solve problems. Inside the cafe, the manager replayed the footage one more time, not because he needed to, but because he wanted the moment burned into his memory. He turned to a shaken supervisor who had arrived late. This ends today, he said. No more complaints buried. No more patterns ignored. The supervisor nodded quickly. Understood. The manager's phone buzzed. A text from his brother. I'm good. Take your time. The manager exhaled. If you're still watching right now, this is a good moment to pause and hit subscribe, because the next part explains why this moment mattered far beyond one cafe. The brother finally headed home. His apartment was simple. Clean lines. No trophies on the walls. No photographs of achievements. Just books. Lots of them. He dropped the stained shirt into the sink and poured water over it, watching the brown fade away. His phone rang. Hey, a voice said. Calm. Professional. You saw it already, the brother replied. It's everywhere, the voice said. Clips. Comments. Opinions. The brother leaned against the counter. I didn't ask for that. I know, the voice replied. But people are asking questions. Let them, the brother said. A pause. Do you want us to step in? No, he said immediately. Not yet. Another pause. You're sure? Yes. After the call ended, the brother sat down slowly. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the adrenaline drain. Years ago, moments like this would have ended differently. Years ago, he would have spoken up sooner. Louder. Sharper. But life had taught him something expensive. Not every battle needs noise. Some need witnesses. His phone buzzed again. A message from his younger brother, the manager. They're already calling corporate. Asking questions. The reply came quickly. Good. Let them. Back at the cafe, a woman approached the manager quietly. "I just wanted to say thank you," she said. "For what?" he asked. "To stop it," she replied. "Most places wouldn't." The manager nodded. "Most places don't look closely enough." She hesitated. "Your brother, he's impressive." The manager smiled faintly. "He always has been." Night fell. The brother stepped onto his balcony, city lights flickering below. He scrolled through social media without interest. Comments flew by. He handled that with class. Why do people act like this? I wish someone would stand up for me like that. He stopped reading. His phone rang again. This time, the voice was different. More formal. "Mister," the man said. "This is Daniel from the corporate office." The brother closed his eyes. "I figured. We'd like to speak with you," Daniel continued. "About what happened?" "I'm listening." There was a pause. "We didn't realize." "That's been said to me before," the brother replied calmly. "Yes," Daniel admitted. "We want to make it right." "Start by making it better," the brother said. "For everyone." Another pause. "Would you be willing to meet?" "Tomorrow," he replied. "Public place." "Of course." When the call ended, the brother leaned on the railing. Somewhere below, someone laughed. Life went on. The next morning, the cafe opened late. A sign on the door read, "Staff training in progress." Inside, the manager stood before a small group of employees. New faces. Nervous eyes. "Yesterday wasn't about my brother," he said. "It was about you." No one spoke. Every person who walks through that door deserves dignity. Not because of who they are, but because of who you are. He let that sink in. If you can't do that, this isn't the place for you. Across town, the brother sat at a small table outside another cafe, sipping black coffee. Same order. Same calm. Daniel arrived, suit crisp, smile rehearsed. "Thank you for meeting me," he said. The brother nodded. "I'm not here for apologies." "Daniel Saturday, then what are you here for?" The brother looked him in the eye. "Change." If this story is still holding you, comment below, because the next part brings it all together. Daniel cleared his throat. "We're reviewing all locations." "That's a start," the brother said. "But culture isn't fixed by memos." "What would you suggest?" Daniel asked. The brother leaned forward. "Listen to the people who never get listened to." Daniel frowned slightly. "That's vague." "It's intentional," the brother replied. "If you don't understand it, that's part of the problem." Daniel nodded slowly. "I don't want compensation," the brother continued. "I don't want publicity. I want accountability." Daniel exhaled. "You're different than I expected." The brother smiled faintly. "That's been said before too." They sat in silence for a moment, city sounds filling the gap. The brother took another sip of coffee. "You know what hurts the most?" Daniel shook his head. "It wasn't the drinks," the brother said. "It was how easy it was for them." Daniel didn't respond. "Fix that," the brother added. "And you won't need people like me to show up." The meeting ended without handshakes. That night, the brother met the manager for dinner. "You okay?" the manager asked again. "I am," the brother said. "Are you?" The manager smiled tiredly. "Learning." They ate quietly for a moment. "Do you ever get tired of being calm?" the manager asked. The brother considered it. "Sometimes." "Why keep doing it?" "Because anger burns fast," he replied. "But dignity lasts." The manager nodded. Outside, the city moved on. And somewhere, people were still arguing about what happened. But the truth was simple. The story was never about coffee. The morning after the meeting, the brother woke up earlier than usual. Not because he was restless, but because his phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Messages. Calls. Unknown numbers. He ignored them. He brewed coffee at home, the way he always did. Slow. Intentional. No rush. He stood by the window as steam curled into the air, thinking about how quickly moments turn into movements when people finally pay attention. Across the city, the manager sat in his office before opening hours. The corporate had sent an email marked urgent. New policies. Mandatory training. Zero tolerance language highlighted in bold. He leaned back in his chair. This time, it wasn't talk. A knock came at the door. One of the newer employees stepped in, nervous. "I just wanted to say, yesterday made me think," she said. "About what?" the manager asked. "About how easy it is to laugh along," she admitted. "Until you realize you're part of the problem." The manager nodded. "Awareness is the first step." She hesitated. "Your brother. Does he come around often?" The manager smiled faintly. "Only when he needs coffee." At another cafe across town, the brother sat again. Same seat by the window. Same black coffee. Different atmosphere. The barista smiled when she handed him the cup. "On the house," she said. He raised an eyebrow. "Why?" She shrugged. "Because everyone deserves a good morning." He smiled. "Thank you." Two people at a nearby table recognized him. "That's him," one whispered. The other frowned. "Should we say something?" The brother heard them and turned. "You don't have to," he said gently. "But, you changed things," the first said. The brother shook his head. "I didn't." "You did. You spoke. You watched. You cared." They nodded, unsure what to say next. If you've made it this far, take a second to like this video, because stories like this only travel when people push them forward. Later that day, an email landed in the brother's inbox. "Corporate again. We've suspended the employees pending further review. New oversight protocols are being implemented. We'd like to acknowledge your role." He closed the email without replying. Recognition wasn't the point. That evening, he met his brother again, this time walking through a quiet park. "You realize you just became a story people tell," the manager said. The brother laughed softly. "I didn't apply for that role." "People see themselves in you," the manager said. "Especially the ones who stay quiet because they think no one will listen." The brother stopped walking. "Then tell them this." The manager turned. "Silence doesn't mean consent," the brother said. "It means survival. And survival deserves respect." The manager nodded, eyes misting slightly. "You always say the right thing." "No," the brother corrected. "I say the necessary thing." They continued walking. A week later, the video clips faded from trending lists. Outrage moved on to the next headline. But something subtle remained. Complaints were taken seriously. Employees watched themselves more closely. People spoke up faster. Not because they were afraid, but because they remembered. The brother returned to his routine. Work. Reading. Quiet dinners. No interviews. No speeches. One afternoon, his phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "I was there that day. I was scared to speak. But now I do. Thank you." He stared at the screen for a long moment, then typed back. "You were always allowed to speak. Don't forget that again." That night, he sat alone on his balcony, city lights blinking below. He thought about how many moments like that never get cameras. Never get managers who care. Never get brothers who step out at the right time. He knew the truth. Justice doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it walks in quietly, orders coffee, and waits. And when it's disrespected, it doesn't scream. It remembers. If this story made you feel seen, subscribe to the channel, because more stories about quiet strength, dignity, and justice are coming. The brother finished his coffee and stood. Tomorrow will be another ordinary day. And that was exactly the point. Because dignity doesn't need a spotlight to matter. It just needs witnesses.